Hey guys, Big Time Collector 01 here, back at again with another action figure video, and today is a very special day. Well, at least when this video is being uploaded, it is Father's Day, and to celebrate, I wanted to take a look at an evolution of my dad's favorite superhero, that being He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. And before we get started, I just want to let you guys have like a little disclaimer. We're not going to be looking at every He-Man figure in existence, just the ones in our collection. And also, we're only going to be taking a look at the regular He-Man, so no battle armor or flying fist, and the only variation of the character we'll look at is Prince Adam, and another character we'll look at is Battle Cat as well. Starting off our journey, we have the first ever He-Man action figure ever made from 1981. He stands at around 5.5 inches tall and features 5 points of articulation. A swivel head. I'm not going to move these as much just because of how old these figures are, but he has a swivel head, swivel shoulders, and swivel legs. And as you can see, he came loaded with weapons. He came with a power sword, which is actually a half sword that can be combined with Skeletors. I won't do that because, again, this is a pretty old figure, but there are other figures in the Masters of the Universe line that does this. He also has a battle axe and a shield. My dad would always tell me stories on how much fun he would have with this figure, and it is one of his personal favorites. Even as today, he still really likes this toy. But He-Man would only get even cooler with the following year in 1982 with the release of Battle Cat. Battle Cat was a green repaint of the Big Jim Tiger and also had armor that is also removable. This action figure combination is still one of my dad's favorite duos to this day. And then in 1984, we had the release of Prince Adam, He-Man's secret identity. He featured the same sword and body sculpt as He-Man, but this figure included a pelt vest and a rubber band belt. And flash forward 27 years later, we come to the Masters of the Universe Classics toy line. These figures stood around 7 inches. And these figures also featured a lot of paint and sculpt work and articulation. The figure included the same weapons as the vintage figure, and the figure also came with a half power sword. As you can see, it has pegs on one side and it's painted on the other. And if you had the Masters of the Universe Classic Skeletor, you could combine the two just like the vintage toy, which is really cool. And in 2010, we had the release of Battle Cat, and this figure is beautiful. I love all the paint and sculpt work on this. It just looks amazing. And it still features the removable armor. Just look how badass these two figures look. I really love this display. Also released in 2010, we have Prince Adam. He was included with the pack-in of Orko. He included 2 versions of the Power Sword as well, a full one and a half one that can combine with Skeletors. He came included with this more neutral head, but he also came with a He-Man head for that classic vintage look. Sticking with Prince Adam for a bit, here we have the 2018 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Prince Adam based on the Filmation cartoon, but this one is specifically based on the Heya meme. But ever since that meme went viral, every Prince Adam figure that's come after this has included a laughing head sculpt. This Prince Adam's only accessory was a repaint of the Classics Power Sword, but in a translucent pink. This figure actually reuses a lot of parts from that figure. Also in 2018, we had the release of the standard Filmation Prince Adam, and he is awesome. These figures were made by Super 7, and these figures look like they came straight out of the cartoon. This figure came included with a standard power sword, and a power sword that included a removable lightning effect, and that looks freaking badass. And in 2019, we have the release of the Ultimate Filmation He-Man from Super 7. Just like the Prince Adam figures, this figure is supposed to look like the Filmation cartoon, and it does it perfectly. And this is one of my dad's personal favorite figures in the collection. As you can see, he comes with the same power sword as Prince Adam, but you can store it in his sheath, which is very cartoon accurate and is one of our favorite details about the cartoon that me and my dad like. And this being the Super 7 release of this He-Man, he came with multiple heads to reference other moments in the cartoon. We now move on to the year 2020 and into the Origins toy line. These figures stand at around 6 inches tall. And the Origins figures are supposed to be a direct homage to the original vintage figures from 1981, just with our updated articulation and sculpt. This He-Man included the same weapons as the first vintage He-Man, but I can't seem to find his shield anywhere for some reason. In the year 2021, Battle Cat was released for the Origins line and was very similar to the vintage figure. Like I said, this line was meant to pay homage to the vintage line, just with our updated articulation and sculpt. This Battle Cat also featured the removable armor. And when you put He-Man on top of Battle Cat, he looks awesome. Also, the year of 2021, we have had the release of the Masters of the Universe Masterverse action figure line, starting off with the Masters of the Universe Revelation He-Man, based on the Netflix show. This He-Man finally brought Masters of the Universe back to the 1/112 scale since Classics. And even though this He-Man had, updated articulation, including double jointed elbows and knees, it still wasn't the best. This is actually me and my dad's one of our least favorite He-Man figures in the collection for many reasons. For one, the head sculpt was too small and just looked really weird, and then the skin tone just didn't look right as well, and there's just a lot of different things that made us not really like this figure. And also that same year, we had the Revelation Battle Cat, which is freaking huge. This is probably the biggest Battle Cat that's ever been released. And just like every other Battle Cat, it has removable armor. Even this Battle Cat isn't our favorite. We just thought it was too big. The green is kind of off. The helmet isn't the best. But these two are very important to the Masters of the Universe toys. But in 2022, we had the release of the new Eternia He-Man. And as you can see, he looks way different than your traditional He-Man. This He-Man looks different because when the new Eternia line first started, it was based on, concept art. These figures were based around concept art, and the concept art for He-Man is where he was supposed to be more Viking-like. This He-Man included many weapons as well, like the battle axe, the power sword, and this little dagger that can be sheathed in his boot. He also came with an alternate unhelmeted head, but in true Masters of the Universe style, you could remove some of the armor and make him look more classic, and I love this. This is personally one of my favorite He-Mans in the collection, and if you want a more in-depth look at this figure, check out my face-off video, and I'll leave a link, or I'll leave a card up in the corner here. Also in 2022, we had the release of the 40th anniversary He-Man from the San Diego Comic-Con 2-pack, that was packed in with Skeletor. The figure stands at around 7.5 inches tall. This figure was made to celebrate 40 years of Masters of the Universe, and this is the first version of 2. I'm not going to take a look at the standard version. If you want to see a more in-depth look at that figure, there's going to be a card in the corner where I took a look at that figure. And the figure was made to look like and celebrate the 40th anniversary of the figure, paying homage to the original figure. What makes this figure really special is the attention to detail. They gave him a flocked loincloth and boot tops, but just as cool, he came with die-cast weapons and a shield as well. And don't believe me? Just listen to this. That's amazing. Since when do we get metal with our action figures, especially within the weapons? Now moving on to 2023, we have the Masterverse Revelation Prince Adam. As you can see, this Prince Adam was definitely a departure from the original Prince Adam, having a more slimmer, skinnier build, and I absolutely love it because, the original Prince Adam, for how classic it is, it just, it doesn't work as a He-Man and, as a secret identity or disguise. It's just basically He-Man and with more clothes. So I like having Prince Adam with a different build. This Prince Adam came with your standard power sword and a translucent sparkly one that's supposed to look like it's transforming. And just like every Prince Adam figure, he comes with a laughing head sculpt. We are now up to the current year of 2024, but back to Origins and their cartoon collection line with the He-Man figure that's based on the Filmation cartoon. This figure combined the looks of the Origins aesthetic and articulation with the look from the cartoon. And with my dad not really liking the Origins line, he really likes this figure because of the cartoon aesthetic, and it brings him back to the 1980s. This He-Man also included a cartoon accurate looking power sword that can also be stored in his sheath, which I absolutely love that they included the detail of the sheath, because this is a Filmation, standout. And then we have the cartoon collection Prince Adam, which was just recently released, and I'm not going to be talking about this figure as much right now because I have a review that is currently up about it, so if you want to learn more about this figure, click the card. And then moving back to the year 2022, I saved the biggest for last. Here is the Mondo 1/6 scale He-Man, and as you can see, he is huge. This is probably the most detailed He-Man action figure that we have in our collection, and probably one of the most expensive ones too. This was released by Mondo for their Masters of the Universe line, and it looks beautiful. I absolutely love this figure. It looks amazing. He actually has, fur for the loincloth and the, boots. And he's got, hyper articulation and paint detail. And it's freaking amazing. Me and my dad absolutely love this figure. This figure actually stands in my dad's office. And he always tells me he loves to look at it. So I am very happy that my dad loves this figure. The figure stands around 12 inches tall and includes all the same accessories as the original He-Man with the battle axe, the shield, and the sword. It's not on him right now, but he does come with the sword, and he comes with a multitude of interchangeable hands and an interchangeable head. And there you guys have it, a brief history on He-Man action figures. Like I said, we didn't look at all of them, but we just looked at the ones that are in me and my dad's special collection. Me and my dad, I've been collecting for a very long time, and my dad recently just started for almost a year ago, and our collection has grown. But not only the collection has grown, so has our bond. It is now, we now have a common interest of collecting, and we've been through so much together ever since we collected together. We've gone to so many toy shows and toy shops. We've been getting these, Master Universe figures for over a year now, and we're just having a fun time together, and I can't be any more happy about it. And if it wasn't for my dad's love for He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, I would have never known, these awesome characters that I've grown to love today. And if it wasn't for my dad introducing me to these characters, I would have never gotten into collecting, and I would have never had this YouTube channel. So all the thanks goes to him. My dad is my biggest fan and my best friend. I hope you guys enjoyed this little action figure evolution. I had a lot of fun making this. I actually had a lot more fun than I thought I was going to. It's really cool to see how, this action figure has grown over time. It's, starting from 1981 to now 2024, and more time to come. I know He-Man is going to still exist for years to come, and it's going to be awesome. This was a really fun video to make, and I hope my dad really likes it, because this was made just specially, it was made for him in mind, since this is his Father's Day gift. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you did, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. And Dad, I know you're watching this, and I know you're going to like this. Happy Father's Day. See ya.